Strikes across the country have been cancelled after last-minute talks between unions and the government. The country's two largest trade unions, the Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress, had planned to stage strike action today over the government's austerity measures. Nigeria's inflation rate is now over 25%, the highest rate the country has seen in almost 2 decades. Well, let's go live to Lagos now for the very latest from our West Africa senior business journalist, Nkechi Ogbonna. And Nkechi, just tell us what's happened. What is the latest on this in terms of the fact they saw a breakthrough in talks?
Well, Sally, what was a shocking revelation to some people who had, made up their minds not to go to work following Labour's instructions, saw that fall off late last night. It was over a 5-hour-long negotiations between the unions and the government. A memorandum of understanding was signed for implementation within the next couple of days, where after which Labour has said they would reconvene and decide to embark on a strike after 30 days if all the articles in that MOU were not met by the government.
And how have the government's austerity measures impacted businesses in real terms?
Well, Sally, following the removal of the fuel subsidy, fuel prices have spiked over 400% in the last couple of months. It has affected the cost of living, food and commodity prices, and even transportation costs as well. Businesses are seeing the worst of hardships in recent times. The cost of production has in some cases tripled. This is due to the increase in fuel costs. Now, a lot of production is done using fuel generators. So a lot of businesses rely on fuel and diesel generators to power their production plants, owing to the country's epileptic power supply. So that has had a ripple effect on the cost of goods.
And just talk us through what the unions have been demanding. And of course, as we've mentioned, the strike action has been called off for now. So what have they got in terms of their demands?
They have quite a lot of demands on their list, but chief among them is the increase in the monthly national minimum wage. Now, currently, the national minimum wage is about $32, but the unions want it to be up to about $250 in local currency. The president, in the move on the Independence Day speech, added about $30 to the national minimum wage, but just for a period of 6 months to help Nigerian workers absorb the shock of the fuel subsidy. But the labor unions are saying that is definitely sustainable.
And what can we expect now going forward?
Well, the government is frantically looking for ways to pacify the labor unions and Nigerian workers in general, because any strike action, industrial strike action, would mean a total shutdown of the economy. But we do know that currently we're seeing inflation at 25%. And so Nigerian workers have said they are determined to fight this to the finish. So we expect more negotiations between Nigerian labor and the federal government in the coming weeks. But hopefully the implementation of the MOU that was signed last night would put an end to the impending indefinite strike in the next 30 days.
Okay. Nkechi Ogbonna,